Hi there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. Last week I started off my how to make the end of 22 super successful and how to progress towards your goals that you set at the end of the year. And I gave you my top tips on how to sort of burn some more calories and get you feeling super fit before the end of the year. So watch that video from last week if you want to focus on more sort of exercise and fitness at the moment. This week, I want to give you my advice on, or some of my advice on nutrition and how that can help you to just sort of fast track your goals a little bit before the end of the year and get a head start on 2023. Also, start to think about burning some calories ahead of the indulgent Christmas period. So one of the things that I'm working with my clients on at the moment, some of my clients and myself as well, I just wanted to sort of see where I'm at with my nutrition. Something that I always suggest is to follow the 80-20 rule in terms of food and what you consume. Now, what that means is that, and you can apply this to many areas of your life, but when we're talking about food, the 80-20 rule is basically that 80% of the time you are eating and consuming what you know to be good, healthy, beneficial to you, exactly what kind of your body needs, and is in the right quantity and good quality food and all of that. So we kind of, most of us will know what is good for our bodies, what is not so good. So we're talking sort of healthy food. It doesn't have to be sort of like organic, super kind of quality food. I'm not talking like that next step. I'm just talking about, we know what the basics are. We know what's healthy, what's good for our bodies, what's nutritious. We're talking healthy, natural foods. It's quite straightforward. But I mean, we can even add in things like bread. It's not super beneficial for our bodies, but it's not super unhealthy either. So we can kind of find a happy balance of what is kind of classed okay in this 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time we're eating what we know to be good for our bodies, and then 20% of the time we can have a little bit of the other stuff as well. So I don't like to call it sort of treating ourselves, but if you want to think of it as like that, then the 20% of the time is when you're sort of a little bit off plan. I don't like calling it treating yourself, because actually if we're thinking about treating our bodies well, then we should be that would be the 80% time. We're treating our bodies in the best possible way when we're giving them the good stuff. It's like, I always say, it's like putting diesel in a petrol car and expecting it to run well. If you put the junk food and the sugary, fatty, whatever food, not good for us, in our bodies, and then expect it to sort of be fit, healthy, fighting illnesses, energized and ready to go at all times, and not feeling tired, not feeling stressed, not getting ill, etc., then yeah, we can't really expect that, can we? So anyway, 80% of the time eating exactly what we should be eating. So that's what I want you to focus on this week. Now, the way that I do this with clients and myself is to have a bit of a tick sheet. So you would have at the top the days of the week, so 7 days of the week. And then you'd have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks as well. This does rely on a little bit of you sort of knowing how much maybe your body needs, and also having a certain amount of knowledge of what is good and healthy. But obviously, if you need any help with this, feel free to get in touch. I would be happy to advise you on what to be eating and what's good for you and everything else. But you could probably find a lot of that information on the web as well, or maybe just having a think and sitting down and sort of planning your meals for the week. But each day, so with this tick sheet, so you've got a blank grid with the days of the week, and you've got the breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks, and then you've got a grid there, and you're just going to basically tick off. So Monday, if your breakfast was a good, healthy, nutritious breakfast, you get a tick. And if it wasn't, if you had a fry up Monday morning, then you get a cross, I'm afraid. You could leave it blank if you don't want to think down the lines of sort of ticks and crosses. But I think that it's quite good to use a cross because it kind of draws your attention to that. And as much as I don't like you to focus on the negatives, for the purpose of this exercise, we need to sort of see how many crosses or how many, where we need to focus our attention, what do we need to work on. So you go through. So then Monday lunchtime, if you had a healthy, nutritious lunch, you get a tick. If you went out to KFC and you had chicken and chips, you don't get a tick, you get a cross instead. Monday dinner, if you had something healthy, nutritious, for example, I don't know, salmon and new potatoes and some vegetables, or salad, or maybe even, like I said, it doesn't have to be super like clean living kind of like I just said. That's the sort of thing I would eat. But if you're used to having maybe lasagna, chips and garlic bread, and instead, because that would be a cross, instead you have maybe some tomato pasta or some kind of like shepherd's pie or something like that, but you have some veg and you have it in a reasonable portion size, the shepherd's pie or whatever you're having, you don't overeat, it's not laden with cheese, or it's not too fatty, not too whatever, then yeah, and it's just good. And I guess you could think of it as sort of, would you think that if you think I would approve of it, then, or a nutritionist would approve of it, or even that you could tell someone this is my healthy dinner, then you get a tick. And if you kind of think, that's not healthy, I wouldn't recommend that to someone, or if they were trying to be healthy, I wouldn't call that healthy to the best of your knowledge, then unfortunately you get a cross. So it's about kind of, just informing yourself, being a bit more conscious of what you're eating, and giving yourself ticks and hopefully not too many crosses, because if we're doing 80% of the time, is it 24, I think, 24 ticks we need of the, let me work that out quickly. I did know it and now I've forgotten it. So if we've got options, so 4 to 28 is the total. If you were 100%, it would be 28 ticks. So 28 times 80%. Oh, actually, it's only 23. So you get, or 22.4. So let's say 23 we're aiming for is 80%. So that gives you 5 opportunities to kind of be a little bit off plan. That does include like if you go out drinking, or you, if we class like a glass of wine as a snack, you'd get a cross for that, because unfortunately that's not necessarily going to help you. Think of it in terms of, will it help you achieve your goals? That might be a better way of thinking about it. Is this meal, or is this what I'm going to put in my body, is it going to help me achieve my goals? If it is, tick, and if it's not so much, you get a cross. And we're aiming for 23 out of 28 possible ticks as a minimum, and that would be 80%. So that's what I want you to have a go at this week. If you're not sure what I'm talking about and you want to clarify, feel free to get in touch. But it's something that I like to do myself, just to make sure I'm on track, and I'd get my clients doing it as well, just to also see where the problems are. Is it that breakfast is not a great meal for them? Is it that they're going out for dinner a lot of the time? Is it that snacks become a problem, and that they're not sure what healthy snacks are available, and we need to just change those habits? So have a think about it yourself this week, and then I'll be back next week with some more top tips.